What the fox is up, all you internet junkies? I am the FaxFox, and today we're finding out if creepy clowns are waiting to kill you in haunted house attractions this Halloween. Let's jump down the rabbit hole. Alright, Fox fans, we have two creepy clown massacre stories to cover. One where a clown killed 18 people, and another where a clown killed 11 people inside haunted house attractions. This is absolutely terrifying. If you're one of those thrill seekers that likes to go to these haunted house attractions, to actually run into an insane person that would kill actual people would be something that you're probably not actually looking for. Maybe you are, I don't know you. Before I get into the first story, I just want to take the time to thank everyone who's put their paws on that subscribe button and subscribed to my channel so far. At the time of recording, I have 66 subscribers, and I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting my channel. Now, let's jump into the first story. Okay, so here's the first creepy clown story. Creepy clown arrested after haunted house massacre. 18 people found dead. That's horrifying, because if you're the type of person that likes to go to these haunted house attractions or haunted hay rides, whatever it may be, to get that kind of thrill that you get from these kind of attractions, to think that you might end up dead because some crazy person decided that they were going to take advantage of the situation and kill a bunch of people, keep that in the back of your mind if you're going out to one. That'll increase the thrill. This was a 58-year-old man who killed these 18 people within an attraction called the Fright Night Horror Massacre. It takes place in Salem, Massachusetts, and it was the third year of this attraction's production. There were eyewitnesses there that say halfway through this haunted house experience, they came across a crazy looking, creepy clown figure with a chainsaw who was apparently hacking up bodies. They all thought it was fun and games until one of the bodies that was being hacked up began to move, reach out, and scream for help as the chainsaw cut into his flesh and dismembered his body. Oh, can you imagine just walking through a haunted house, you come across this scene, this horrifying clown figure that looks kind of like the Joker from The Dark Knight is just chainsawing up some guy, and he is screaming for help. So, according to the story, once the attraction goers realized what was happening, a gentleman named Trevor Mills took action and luckily was carrying heat. So he drew his gun on this crazy clown, moved in, and took fire, shooting the crazy clown in the leg and then again in the shoulder. His full statement was, "I pulled out my gun and drew on that sick-ass creepy clown. I got about a foot away from him and shot him once in the leg and again in the shoulder, just enough to make him stop until police arrived." Police and emergency response arrived on the scene within minutes, allegedly, and they found 18 bodies strewn throughout this haunted house attraction. Oh, so this guy had the time to take out 18 people that were going through this attraction. Did nobody think, like, who was running this attraction? Nobody thought, hey, I wonder what happened to those people that went into the haunted house. They never came out. Oh well, I guess they're just having fun in there. What? What are you thinking? How did 18 people get killed in this place before anybody noticed? So this 58-year-old, his name was apparently Curtis Langley, and he's currently in solitary confinement awaiting mental evaluation. So that's the first story. Now let's jump into the second story, which is just as creepy. Okay, second story. Creepy clown arrested. Police find 11 bodies stuffed in freezers at his home. Oh my God. 11 bodies stuffed into freezers. How many freezers did this guy have in his house, first of all? But enough to stuff 11 bodies into them, apparently. So this creepy clown, his name apparently is Douglas Harrison, and he's 42 years old, and he's a psycho because he killed 11 people and stuffed their bodies in freezers. I can't get over the freezer, stuffing their bodies in freezers. So not only was this guy a creepy clown who killed 11 people and stuffed their bodies into freezers, still not, like, I'll get past that. I'll get past the freezer thing. But I have something to get past that too, because he dressed them up like clowns before doing so, which is even more messed up than just stuffing them in the freezer. This allegedly took place in Memphis, Tennessee, and the only reason the guy was even caught was that neighbors had seen suspicious activity from him and were called into 911 and reported him. When the police arrived, they knocked on his door and were greeted by the man in his clown costume. And that is a creepy clown costume. Oh, why? Why do you want to be a creepy clown? I guess that's why it's popular, right? When they interrogated him about the suspicious activity, he seemed to be intoxicated on drugs of some kind. Apparently, the police described the smell coming from his home as cotton candy and death. Sorry, I vomited in my mouth there a little bit. The inside of this guy's house, covered in circus decorations, just like Looney Bin to the max. When the police found the freezers in question, they were chained and padlocked. Once the police broke those locks off, they found the decapitated bodies of these people dressed in clown suits, some of which had their heads in Ziploc bags. Oh God, that's so creepy. This is definitely a creepy clown story. And what's more creepy is that each face was painted intricately, as if done by a professional artist. It doesn't get much creepier than that. I mean, wow. Harrison was taken into custody and charged with multiple counts of murder. When the police investigated his home further, they found tunnels that led to secret rooms under his house that had maps of local areas where he planned to find more targets, as well as additional clown costumes and face paint and makeup. Oh, I'm so glad they caught this guy. Okay, so that's the second creepy clown story. Now, do you think these are real? Leave a comment below to let me know if you thought these creepy clown massacre stories were real or fake. Now, let's go and find out. Okay, so the first story. Was it true or was it false? It was false. There was no crazy creepy clown that went on an 18-person killing spree in a haunted house. It never happened. Completely fabricated by a fake news site called 8 Now News. They got their images from stock photography and from a story about a man who dressed like the Joker from The Dark Knight and got charged with drunk driving. And it was just his mugshot. They put those two together to create a very convincing story that was shared thousands of times, if not tens of thousands of times, across the internet. So now you know that story, completely fake. On to the next story. The second story, do you think it was true or do you think it was false? Well, it was false as well. Not a real story at all. There was no creepy clown with 11 bodies stuffed in freezers in his home. It was just another fake news story from 8 Now News. So, now you know if you see 8 Now News, it's gonna be fake. Where did the images from the second story come from? Well, there was a creepy clown that dressed up like this and did some creepy stuff. His name was Jonathan Mills, and he was 20 years old. And he was found in Kentucky in this costume stalking in the woods and was arrested promptly. He never killed anyone. He scared a few people, but that's about it. 8 Now News, again, took these images, mixed them together, came up with a convincing story, and made a lot of people believe that this guy was actually out there. So now you know that, as far as we know, there's no creepy clowns waiting to kill you in a haunted house attraction. But just because it hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean it won't happen. So enjoy that thought as you're going to the haunted houses. Make sure that you hit that like button and let me know what you thought about the show, or give me suggestions for future episodes by leaving a comment below. I'm more than likely going to cover any stories that you guys want to see. And don't forget to put your paws on that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel so you know when future episodes come out. Last, I want to remind you that we still have 4 more FaxFox Frighteners this month on the 20th, the 25th, the 27th, and finally on Devil's Night, the 30th. Where you'll find out how to actually get me to play the game that I'll be talking about in the Devil's Night episode. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to catch that. Until next time, I'm the FaxFox saying, Fox off.